little swing music today. Well, it'd be nice if I had a partner in it where we could really dance. Boy, music is really helpful in life, isn't it? With all this stuff going on, boy, it could better than Prozac, isn't it? Well, here, this is our weekly free money update. And really is to show you about programs I found during the week. See, what I do all week long really is do research. Man, I love it. I really enjoy it, and I appreciate the people who, give me an opportunity to do it and solve their problems and find free money and help for them. And that's what I do all week. But I find so many neat things that I never even knew about during the week. And so that's what I thought I'd do, is try to do this weekly so I could show you all the new neat stuff that I found during the week. And because it does me no good just to keep it in my head. So I want to show, and even though I can this way, on live, it's hard to give you links and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to give you enough information so you could find it itself. See, the whole thing is asking the right questions. That's why Google is more of a hindrance than a help. Because you'll put in, oh, I need money for this, and you put that in, and you'll get 100 million websites, and 99% of them people want to sell you money or do, and you'll never find the free stuff. So that's what I'll do today. And hopefully I'll do it, every week, so I can just get this stuff out. That's what's so neat about social media. When I was doing TV shows and everything, it was very few sources. Now there's millions of sources and avenues to get information out and help people. And that's the greatest thing about work, is really, and that's what I see work as. Is how much can you give before you die? And then if you enjoy it, then you got to figure out a way to get money, so you can survive doing it. And that's, so that's why I do custom research reports for free. They're really custom-made, handmade research. How do you like that? Maybe I should put a new category on Etsy, handmade research. Because that's what I do. You can't do a reference book anymore, because it has to be for everybody, and there's so much stuff out there. So now with that custom research, I can narrow it just to where you are. Because particularly with government programs, it's all local. Even though the money comes from federal, to get it, it's local places and nonprofits and stuff all these people don't advertise. So let's start here now. In a recent job I've been doing on free money to live on, or actually sources to keep the cash coming in. One thing, I have a category in there called jobs, and training and education and all this kind of stuff, and how to get that. And I think people are forgetting about government jobs. Now listen, we're trying to get manufacturing jobs in this country, and actually there's twice as many government jobs as there are manufacturing jobs, and they continue to grow. Actually, if you go and Google this, government employees outnumber manufacturing employees. Actually, they have 9 million, so there's 9 million more government employees, 10 million almost, than there are manufacturing employees. And if you Google that, you'll see the graph. I mean, these manufacturing employees are going down, government employees are going up, and they crossed, like 10, 20 years ago, and that's the growth. These things are going down, and it's really technology. That's what people haven't realized yet, how much the fast change in technology is changing the way we work, how I work. Man, we got artificial intelligence. We're going to be driving cars. You don't need anybody to drive a car. Now, would you think of that 5 years ago that was possible? No. That's right. The average person really can't even keep up with the change. That's why we're all frustrated and having a difficult time. So now you should investigate government jobs, because they actually have pension plans. Remember them? Healthcare. Remember that? Let me turn this down a little. Okay, so on your government jobs, they have, you have 3 places, well, probably 4, but you have your city government. And all you have to do to find out how to apply is really, this is what Google comes into. If you just put in jobs now, how to apply government, how to apply job and the name of your city, like Rockville, Maryland. Apply job, Rockville, Maryland.gov. So you put .gov in there. Make sure you get a .gov. You want to, some headhunter or something like that, or somebody selling you something. that you really don't need. Somebody said the music's a little loud. Is that better, Eddie? It's fun to have it. And so that's right. So apply, government job, apply, Rockville, Maryland.gov or whatever. Now your county, now that's the other thing you got to do is your county government. Now this is where most things happen. Like most federal government money goes from the federal to the state, then to the county. So apply, job, and the name of your county, and put .gov after it. Now this is not in the URL. This is in where your search, in the Google search bar or something like that, whatever search engine you use. Then your state government. So you put your state government, apply, state, Maryland, apply job, state, Maryland.gov. And you see it there. You only want to go to websites at .gov.org. I mean, I'm sure good websites.com, but it's just in millions. It's just better to be safe that way for now until you really learn more and know more about how to do all this stuff. It's just a safer thing. You just stay away from sharks. There's sharks in that water, but if you know the water, you can swim around them. But until you get to know it, it's best not to. Now, for federal government, here's what you do. You contact your elected official. That's right. You contact your elected official, your congressman. Call your local office of your congressman. They're all set up for this to help you get a government job. And remember, 80% of the government jobs are not in Washington, so they're all over the country. and actually, with good government pay, man, you're in a city, county, state, or whatever that has a lower cost of living than Washington, D.C., man, you're doing real well. And you don't have to worry about your pension. They can print that money as much as they want. So that's what's important. So there are three places, that I want to make sure that people know about these things. Okay. Now here's another neat thing. There's a program at your county government. Okay. So in your county government, they have a program. It's through the workforce. So workforce and the name of your county, and .gov. That's what you want. Well, some of these things are .org or something, but that's what you want. Workforce development. They have something where they will pay half your salary if you don't know what the hell to do in this job. So actually, it goes up to 70% or so, depending on where you live. So in other words, but this is a great program. See what you can do in looking for a job if the people won't hire you because you don't know how to do the job, you haven't done it before. Well, you can say, hey, listen, I know where you, Mr. Boss, can get free money to pay me while I learn that job. Now, isn't that great? Or if you have a company, and you want to hire, your brother-in-law or something like that, doesn't know donuts about your work, you can get money to train this dummy on what you're doing, and that's it. And these are legitimate programs that pay there. See, we invest so much in the workforce here, but people don't know. All you know are headhunters and people make money out of doing this. No, they have money to give you to do this. See, that's the thing about all this stuff. The people who are giving money don't have advertising money to let you know they're giving away. The people who want your money, they have advertising money to find you. Now, here's another great source of jobs, I think, is the apprentice programs. I mean, there are 900 apprentice programs. Yeah, and it varies by state and county and things like that. But these are good paying jobs. Don't require a degree, most of them, And actually 70% of our workforce doesn't have a degree, And that's why it is this club thing that you have to have a degree. It's more, I think we're getting back to more to skills. You really have to just know how to do stuff. Who cares if you have a degree, and we're coming back to that more. And so these are 900 jobs. And actually what we need, because particularly now, if Trump gets his infrastructure thing going, $1 trillion or whatever that's going to be, we have the need the people who know how to do it. And like right now, we don't have enough trained people to do that. I mean, it's even showing now that there's data out in Colorado where they're trying to grow a lot of things out there. It's a very developing country there, or state. And they don't have enough trained job seekers, to fulfill what they have to do now. And that's bizarre to me. And so what they have to not spend as much money because they don't have trained people. So if we throw in $1 trillion there, so these are jobs that don't go away. So I'd investigate that. Where do you find them? Again, at your labor workforce center. And that's in your county government. So this is all .gov, that you want to go. And I have videos of people run these kind of programs and things like that. Oh, here's an interesting thing I found at the county level. Now, this is a Cumberland County in New Jersey. They have a medal you could get for anybody who's a veteran, who's been in the military, so who honorably served their country and their county, in the armed forces at somewhere. So you could go to your government, the county government, and they give you a medal. So I don't know if it's in your county or not, but that's something to talk to about it. So it's a Veterans Service Medal. So Veterans Service Medal, your county. So to me, the easiest way would just go to your county government, call up the information. I'm looking to see if you have a Veterans Service Medal. And that's the way. I mean, that's why people, particularly the internet, we find it, I'll search that and I'll spend 3 hours searching something. And God, you just call up the horse's mouth. The people who should know this stuff. That's why people are becoming more important in getting information than the internet, because there's so much junk on the internet you can't really find the good stuff. I was trying to find some housing programs out in Oklahoma yesterday. Man, there's nothing there. They live out in the middle of Bumpkus nowhere in Oklahoma. Couldn't find anything. So I called one of the government's free housing counselors. Just on a blue guy. I couldn't find anything on the internet. Man, she was wonderful. Yeah. She told me about a program at the Federal Home Loan Board. I've sort of heard of it, but I didn't know what the hell. Man, yeah. And they not only have programs, they give you down payment. This is the Federal Home Loan Bank Board. Wow, who never heard of them? And what they do is work through banks and give people down payment money. That Federal Home Loan Bank Board. God, it's a department I never heard about. And then they have another one for people who want to invest and be real estate investors. Wow, that's a free money place I never even knew about. So that's why people become more important in doing this. Okay, here's an interesting, a nonprofit organization I found, partnersforselfemployment.org, partnersforselfemployment.org. I forget where they are. But they're the kind, see what I'm doing, you're telling you about these things, because they're probably similar kind of stuff where you are. That's the thing. So what you want to do when you find this website and say things like that, because they have a program that if you've been in business for less than 10 years, less than 2 years. So if you've been in business less than 2 years and you have no records, you have no financial records whatsoever about your business, they want to give you money. That's right. Man, who would have thought? Like $1,000 to $5,000, for that. Because you have no records, but you've sort of been in business for less than 2 years. Man, that's pretty cool. Okay, now here's free help for immigrant entrepreneurs. That's right. This is down in Miami-Dade County. I guess they got a lot of immigrants there. But it's true around. I keep running into a lot of programs like this all over. It's part of Miami-Dade.gov, and it's part of their social services. So, you think, we think of social services, a guy my age thinks of welfare or something like that. No! They're making entrepreneurs out of these people. Actually, data I've seen is that people with no money starting businesses are more successful than people with lots of money. Yeah, they have a more successful rate of being an entrepreneur because they know how to live and lean. Fat cats and people who get $1 million to start a business, they know how to spend money, maybe know how to raise money, but they don't know how to live lean to make a business survive. So that's why this is a great opportunity for people, and really people in social services realize this is important. Okay, here's a neat thing I found too, is that, you ever hear the programs at the state level that you're missing money? Every state has like billions, millions of dollars. I think there's like 40 or 50 billion dollars in the whole United States that's just sitting unclaimed, like a down payment you put on a deposit for a utility bill 20 years ago or something, or your grandmother put a savings bond for you somewhere when you were born. All that stuff pops up and that goes to the state unclaimed property. Well, here's what they're doing in Pennsylvania, and maybe if you're looking for a deadbeat parent, a dad or a mom who's not paying child support, what they're doing now in Pennsylvania is going to the unclaimed property people and finding money that these deadbeat people have forgot about it and grabbing it there and giving it to the other partner who's not being paid for their child support. I mean, last year I think they got like $100,000 like that. So that's why, I mean, it's cute. So go to every state has a child support enforcement office, and actually you get free legal help too if you're not getting your child support, money. So you could go to your state, if you go to your state government or call 211 and ask for the child support office. They have free legal help. They'll chase down people for you. They'll take their tax refunds, all this kind of stuff, and they would know about this too. And they'll show you where the unclaimed child support money is too, because that every state has too. People, there's hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in unclaimed child support. I'm sure there's a lot of kids and parents, single parents that need that. Okay, get $4,000 to help paying for, I know, this is a program, a matched opportunity. A matched savings account. What they do here, you put in, I'm trying to think of the name. Individual. I'll pick it up later because IDA. Anyway, there's banks and organizations that if you put in $1, they put in $3 to match your savings. So now you have $4 instead of $1. And you get money. You have to use the money to do something in life. You can't use it to go to Vegas or something. It has to be either for education, starting a business, buying a house, stuff like that. Oh, here's a neat thing. Pets in the classroom. These are free pets for your classroom. Yeah, and it's great. Petsintheclassroom.org. So if you know teachers or people like that, there's ways to get pets in the classroom. I got an ad here. That's okay. So you get a free pet, and it's actually through the pet store. So, I mean, it's like a couple $100 worth of pets, whether it's goldfish or rodents and things like that. So it's small little pets like that. So it's petsintheclassroom.org. So that's a little fun thing. Oh, here's a fun fact. I found it. In 2015 is the highest % increase in traffic deaths. And that's before we have these driverless cars. Highest % increase in traffic deaths for the last 50 years. I think it's like in the 30,000 a year, which it used to be when I was a kid, $50,000 a year, I think was the. Now it's 30-some thousand a year, and that's starting to increase again. And actually, I saw some data yesterday that I didn't look into much yet, but people getting hit by cars on the street is increasing a lot. So that's it. And I think the bigger problem, to me, being killed by a car used to be, that's the most dangerous thing you do in life is get cars. Now it's not. You know what the most dangerous thing you do in life? It's going to the hospital. That's right. I mean, anywhere you look at the data for about deaths by accident, people dying by accident or in the hospital, by screwing up doctors and nurses screwing up and things like that. Over 100,000. It's up to 300,000 or 400,000. So that's a hell of a lot longer than $30,000. So we think of nothing. We think we're going to be safe in the hospital. That's the most dangerous place to go. I think you go to the hospital, you got to go with somebody. You got to have a monitor there. So when somebody's coming in and giving you stuff, that you have somebody clear thinking, to help you, because you can't, be your own advocate if you're sick and dying or pain or all this kind of stuff. You need an advocate. And I don't know, I think I covered this earlier, but remember the new health care plan that Trump was talking about? I mean, that was really a tax plan. It snuck in as a tax plan. Because what happened in that, I don't know if you see, what nobody really talked about much except towards the end, was that millionaires were getting an extra $50,000 in that program. And everybody else was going to cost them $1,400. So the rest of us, it was going to cost $1,400, but millionaires were going to get $50,000. Crazy? Well, that's Washington. Yeah. And actually, this is data that came out again too that I thought is very interesting. If you Google now something called deaths of despair, DESPAIR, deaths of despair. these are two researchers that came out with that preliminary data a couple of years ago that really shows non-Hispanic white people in this country that are 50 to 60 years old are dying now faster than anybody else in the developed world. So their rate of death has been increasing when everybody else's rate of death is decreasing. And this is in other countries, Germany, France, England, UK, anywhere, and also against minorities. They're in this country. Their death rates are decreasing, but whites are increasing. And that changed about year 2000. And the reason why they're dying, the number one cause is, listen to this, suicide and drugs and alcohol abuse. Wow. People really hurt, you know, and that's what I think, you know, people in Washington and everything, this is, you know, what Trump is appealing to. We have a section of the population really in pain. Man, if you're killing yourself, you're really, you know, hurting in life, right? So these people that haven't been, you know, identified, if you're a minority, we have problems with that, and so someone who is low income and average white person feels like there's nothing there. And actually I think what happens more in something like that is, this is the first time, like, the children are doing worse than the parents. And see, in minority groups, the children are doing better. The white folks, you know, they were doing so well years ago that their children are doing a lot worse. So, I mean, that must hurt more. I mean, I know the average, like, male, 30-year-old male now, makes about 25% less than when I was 30 years old. So that, young people are not doing as well as older people. And it's really because of change. You know, the economy is different. You know, we're not an industrial society anymore, and computers are going to take more of that work anyway. So we really have to just change our attitude about how we work and what we work in. Yeah, and actually, a book I'm reading now is the world is changing so fast, but people aren't changing that fast. See, before 10, 20, 30 years ago, you know, things didn't change that fast. So you had time to adjust and, you know, take it in. Now it's not waiting for you. And we're not trained as humans to change that fast. So that's what's killing us. Another neat thing I thought about over the week too is about the golden rule. I mean, that seems to be the basic, you know, thing about every religion, the golden rule, no matter what religion, you know. And so it's to treat other people like you want to be treated, you know. When I see the two big forces in our society, which is commerce and politics, the golden rule seems to be to screw you. I mean, you deal with somebody, you know, in business, well, it's legal what I'm doing, but you wouldn't do to your own family, right? You wouldn't do to somebody. Yeah. So no wonder. I mean, you're trained to survive by not following the golden rule. So we have to do because everybody's trying to screw you, so you have to try to screw them, and that's not what your heart is saying. So I think that's why we get so pissed off at our jobs. You know, none of it appeals to our inner being of what we think life is about. But you know, that's a longer philosophical thing. But I think the golden rule. Oh, here's a new program called dropoff.com. Now, this is indicative of, I think, where new jobs are coming from. Now, this is delivery service, but this is an app. This is how so many people, you know, for Uber. So we have 1 million people making money out of Uber, right? So that means they're making extra money whenever they want to, very flexible. They don't have to worry about being paid. They don't have to worry about being bugged because they got no money. It's all done on the app. They don't have to worry about finding customers because the app finds them the customers, all this kind of stuff. So it's very easy. And if they want to work for an hour or a day or just an hour a year, that's fine. They can still do it whenever they want. Now, so that's what's happening in the job force now. So it's things like that. So there's more and more. Now, Amazon delivers overnight. You could now work for Amazon, deliver packages. You know, when you have a couple hours free today, okay, you go on the app and say, hey, I can do it now. And you go and make money for a few. I'm getting bored of this. I won't do it anymore. I'll go play golf or have a long lunch. Nobody cares. Your grandmother doesn't have to die 15 times for you to get a day off. But drop off another one. This is because, see, this is for local retailers to deliver over the same day for you. So it's having a workforce like this that's very flexible, and there's issues, of course, with benefits and all that kind of stuff. But this is where it's at. That's another issue. To me, it's how do you keep life together? Well, as a bigger society, we figured this out. You got to get a job. You got to get income. So that's dropoff.com, and there's probably a dozen places. And actually, in my 299 sources of extra money kind of thing I do, I have about a dozen of these places like this. I mean, deliver all kinds of stuff. My older boy works for me just for my extra cash when he wants to. It's very flexible. Okay, here's another thing I didn't realize we have a federal program that gives cash and medical assistance to refugees. It's at the Department of Health and Human Services. Been there for some time. Every city has it. Every state has it. So if you do, it's cash and medical assistance, refugee. Okay, that's what you would look for. And it's part of HHS. So if you want to find it there, you can put hhs.gov and put in cash and medical assistance. And you'll find it, and then that will tell you how to find the local office for something like that. Handicap van. This is interesting. Mobilityworks.com. This is a place for people with handicap and need a handicap van or need it repaired or want to buy a used one or anything. It's a clearinghouse for all this. And also rentals or something like this, and payments, how to finance things like that. Home repairs for veterans. This is operationhomefront.org. Now this is just for veterans to get home repair. There's so many free home repairs, things out there that people should know about. I mean, everybody wants to get their house fixed up. Find out first if you're eligible for this. Things like even Habitat Humanity has it. A lot of nonprofit organizations have it. A lot of local programs have it for seniors. There's a phone. I'm sorry, I didn't turn that phone thing off before I started this. In this technology stuff, I always forget something. I got 3 different things I try to do, and last time I was trying to do this the same time I was doing it on YouTube, and Facebook wouldn't work on my computer for some reason. I don't know, and I tried 3 different computers, so it's always something like that. So that's free home repairs for veterans. Okay, here's the other one. Individual Development Accounts, IDA. This is what I talked about earlier, where they match your savings account. Now, this is an income-dependent program, so you can't be a millionaire and do this. And there's a limit to how much they'll give you, maybe $5,000, $10,000 at most. But bam, where else are you going to pick up an extra $5,000? So you put in $1, the government or some nonprofit organization matches that with $2, $3, $4, $5, even up to $8. It depends, and that's available. And it's called. You want to find out what's near you like that? Google individual development accounts, okay, and put .org or something like that on it, and you'll see there's an association of all these people, and you can go on their website and then find who does this in your state where you live. So that's right. See, what's neat about old-time think like me, I've been around here for a long time, that associations are so great. That's how we've been organized. So now if you Google free money for my whatever you want, how would you know to Google individual development accounts? That's free money. But you'll never find that. Unless you know about it. That's what I mean. To me, the jacket, when I wear this question, you have to know the questions to ask. So now that you know individual development accounts, IDA, you know what to ask for. Say not just, I need some free money. You're going to get 500 million websites, and you're going to get tired after 3 hours of trying to do something and talking to hucksters who want to sell you something and never find this. So that's the important thing. That's why I think people are becoming more important than Google, because there's too much on Google, and you have to know people, touch base with people who really know their stuff, so you can eliminate 100 hours of research. Oh, this is interesting too. I see Airbnb is giving out a grant of $100,000 to people who have ideas for disrupting the economy. See, that's what they did. They disrupted Airbnb. They're the taxi people who have the biggest taxi cab company in the world now, and they don't own a single car. So what they're doing now, this is the shared economy. This is what's growing in our countries. Why have another company that has to buy cars and everything? When my car's sitting here, I barely use it. No, when I want to use it, I'll go make some extra money. So they're looking for other businesses like that will disrupt the economy, because it becomes more efficient. See, so this is what's happening with Airbnb. People who have an extra room, a blow-up bed, or anything like that. They'll be able to get money from that, and nobody has to build a new hotel. We got resources already. It's like finding change in your sofa. Why go out and work if you have $100 sitting in your sofa you didn't know about? So that's what's neat, and that's what we have. Now, so they're giving out $100,000, but it's only in Australia now. But to me, I think they're going to do it all over. Here's another thing too about a thing I ran into about venture capitalists and women. Okay, now they have a study now. It came out, the top venture capitalists, the top 20 venture capitalists. If you Google that, you'll find this report that just came out. So the top 20, these are venture capitalists, people who give out money, to people, other people want to start businesses, and you get married to these people, It's not free. But there's only 2 that are women. It's all guys, so it's another guys club, And so, and I did a report. Actually, I have on Lesko Tutor. I have a downloadable, research report on women starting using crowdfunding. And you'll see the report I have in there, and you could Google this. It's from the University of Pennsylvania, some professors there. They did a report that shows women are as much as 100% more successful at getting crowdfunding money for their business than men are. So here, see, venture capital, 95% of venture capitalists are men, and they give 95% of their money to guess who? Men. 95% of venture capital is going to men. However, on crowdfunding, if you use that to start a business. Oh, by the way, I just saw Facebook is going to use crowdfunding now too. You can start crowdfunding on Facebook. And I have a lot of prepackaged books on crowdfunding at Lesko Tutor if you want to know more about that stuff. Or just look at some of my old videos too. I cover it now and then. But if on crowdfunding, if you're a woman, you get up to 100% more, the more successful, because the people who give money on crowdfunding, half of them are women. Actually, 45% are women. So venture capitalists, 95% are men. Crowdfunding, only half are men. So you better chance. That's why, and they're looking for women to invest in, right? They want to be another thing where guys get everything, right? So that's why women, you're a woman and want to do it, you're making more. In every category, women are outperforming men in raising money on crowdfunding. Actually, crowdfunding now gives out more grants to artists than the National Endowment of the Arts. That's right. So they now, everybody thought, grants, you go to National Endowment of the Arts, that was the biggest thing for money for artists. No, not anymore, it's crowdfunding. And actually there's another crowdfunding site now called Patreon, that gives out money every month, and they're giving out $1 million in crowdfunding money to artists every month. That's amazing to me. I remember I have an interview video, this guy runs it, a couple of years ago we did it, and I said, who's going to do this? Wow. That's why I know, I keep learning that I don't know anything. Man, what you think the work, we don't know. And that's what life is now. Life is stumbling in the dark because nobody knows. You just have to take your best instinct and learn from that and keep going and learn and keep going because nobody knows. And you can't, we're in new uncharted waters. Nah, we're all guessing. We always think we want to give some money to somebody because we think they know. They don't, but they want to make you believe they know so they can get your money. Well, here's another. Cars. People are buying fancier cars nowadays. Why? Because of Uber. What they know now is that, okay, I got this BMW or a fancy car. I paid 50 grand instead of 20 grand or something. But I could use it a day or two a week and make the payments on it just by driving for Uber. Because it's that easy. See, it's that easy to get this kind of work now. That's why, in this report I do with 299 ways to make extra cash coming in, I got 150 places like that is really web-based. 150 places that are government-based for extra cash. Now, 150 places that are internet-based extra cash. That give you extra, but you have to do something, but it's easy. It takes no requirements, takes no skill, takes no education, takes no nothing, it takes no risk. Everything is free. All these things cost you nothing. You go out and get a job or try to Google this stuff, you're going to get people want to get money from you. No, none of these things on the internet cost anything to do, to try. That's what's neat about this stuff. So that's what you should do, because nobody knows what works. You got to try it. And the thing in life is you try something and then you learn from that and build on that. Yeah, and that's what life's about. Oh, okay, the last thing I want. Here's a great thing. I wish I should have known it. I should have known this long ago. This being my work. See, I'm the best expert in this stuff, and I didn't know that. PatientAdvocate.org. PatientAdvocate.org. Copay. They have copay grants. You can't make your copay. They pay copay. Man, that's why people are getting screwed up with Obamacare. Now, sure, you have insurance, but you got a $5,000 copay first before you get the real money. This is what this organization does. And here's another thing they do. They help you with financial problems if you're in financial problem because of health care. Right, you get a big health care bill. That's why before Obama came in, the reason when the impetus is for that starting, that Obamacare, was because the biggest reason people went bankrupt in this country is because of health care bills. Right. So that's what this organization does, PatientAdvocate.org. What they do is help people in financial problems because of health care bills. And one other thing they do, which is terrific, I think, to me, is they fight your insurance company. You think the government is screwed up? Try deal with your insurance company or Comcast. Yeah, and they're getting paid to treat you poorly. At least deal with the government. It's. They're not, well, they do take your money in taxes and whatever, but man, there's no difference. That's, to me, a size of just large organizations. That's why, to me, to get by in society, you have to realize, what's behind all that and how to deal with large organizations. You yelling at some clerk, it may be good for your soul, but it's not going to get you anywhere. Whether it's at Comcast or the government, particularly the government, because they get paid the same no matter what they do, And so you have to use you and your personality. Like I just talked to a government employee, and they lost a whole big, at the post office, I had a deposit there. It's a big chunk of money, and nobody could find it. I mean, it was amazing. I had the paperwork and everything. It was a bureaucratic bungling, and it's part of my fault because I forgot about it for a number of years. I figured it was safe with the government, but it wasn't. Until I started being extremely nice to these people, at the post office. Who's nice to people at the moment, and having fun and talking to them and joking about everything and how stupid I was and everything like that. And the lady calls me back yesterday. Hey, I was talking to an employee, a friend here at work, and she told me to check XYZ, which I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But she found it. She found it. After I'm doing this, I'm going over there now. And filling out the paperwork. I've been working on this for a month with these people, and there's just no reason to get mad or whatever, because you can't get the best out of these people if you act like that. It's tough for me to realize that when I'm in the heat of the battle too. So even me. But thanks for putting up with me. I hope to do this weekly to give you everything I learned, man, so people get this. To me, all these things are like oil under the ground. It's money and help to help people in their lives that you can use, everybody can use, share this stuff with everybody. But if you leave it in the ground, then you can't, it's worthless. So it's only good if you use it. And we all have plenty of problems. and plenty of things we want to do in life. And that's what I'm trying to do, is show you the options and the alternatives there are. And that's why I do a lot of handmade custom research. If you go to leskotutor.com and go into custom research, you see I do custom research. You give me where you live, I'll show you 150 programs, like for buying a house or fixing a house. You want to start a business, I'll show you 300 programs where you live on starting or growing a business, or you just need money to live on. I'll show you about 300 programs for that. And videos, see, they all come with video instructions. As you can see, I like video. I think that's the way to educate. So that's why I like this better than my directories, which I used to do. I couldn't educate. So now you get my handmade reports. I've loaded with video. You can get 100 videos in there that explain each of these programs if you want to know more about it. And that's me explaining them, or some expert who used it, or samples of people have used these programs, and how they've done it. So the whole important thing is about education, and we have to take the time to digest and learn how to use all this stuff, because it's out there. But it's difficult. It is. Life is a pain in the ass. That's why I try to stay happy and have fun at it. Because if I start thinking about how shitty it is, and it ain't going to change no matter what I think, so I must be happy. Fuck it. Thanks again. I'll see you next week or whenever. Leave me a message here, and I'll try to get an answer within the next day. Just beat on me if I forget. I'm an old guy. I forget things. So if you haven't heard from me in 2 days, just beat on me again. Remind me. Take care. Going, got that one going, and then let's see, I got the other one going. Okay, so this is part 2 of free government grants and easy internet income for where you live. Okay, this is the easy internet income for where you live part. Okay, and that's why, to me, it's learning the system in the United States now takes two new skills you have to learn if you want to know free stuff. You got lots of money and you're lazy or whatever. Okay, you don't need to know any of this stuff, because you just buy stuff. For those of us who don't have that kind of money, we got to learn how to use the system. And there's 2 ways to do that. One is by learning government grants. Okay, and that the government represents 1,000. I'm sorry, not 1,000, but about 35% of everything in our economy. So it's a huge chunk. Every fat cat knows it in the country, knows how to use it. That's why everybody in Washington, you see Trump's cabinet is all these fat cats who want to know how to get more out of Washington. So for a little guy too, it's there, but it's harder to find. You don't have rich people to help you. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do, show people that these programs, the average American gets the average family gets over $20,000 a year in these programs. Okay, now, but the other part, I think, is what's happening on the internet. This is a game changer for everybody in the life, in the world, everywhere, and we have to start learning how to use it, particularly in getting income. This is the greatest thing, since sliced bread, or since the government grant, because here's the get it. And the difference about this, it's not on the internet, it's not just free money. You apply for a grant, the government's trying to solve a problem, maybe get you out of debt, or have you start a business, buy a house or whatever, so I have money that you don't have to pay back. On the internet, what it is here is money you do something for, but it's easy. It's convenient, and it's growing. It's everything. It's a source of income that you could have for the rest of your life, whether it's extra income or make a full-time career out of it or start your own thing because of the internet. You don't need a store anymore. You just need an internet. You don't need a consultant office anymore. You don't need that. You just need the internet. And now they have what's called these platforms that help you make money. They've taken out all the risk, all the pain in the butt stuff that was involved in doing your own thing, that they do it all for you and make it easy for you to make money. Okay, now, and now, I mean, what's happening on the internet? You probably know some of this stuff already or all of it. I'm not the first one to identify this stuff. Uber, ever hear of Uber? Okay, they're the largest taxi cab company in the world now, okay? Largest in the world. They don't own a single car. This is what it is. But what are they doing? They're taking you. You have an extra car, extra time, whenever. You have 10 minutes today and you want to make an extra $20. You just say, hey, I'm available now. Anybody here need a ride? And you're on and gone and you get your money and whatever. They handle the money. They handle everything. They handle the customers. They get the customers. And you just need a phone. And you're in business. That's all. They have the insurance. They have everything created. Okay, Facebook. Listen to that. Okay, we all know Facebook. We're probably all on it, right? Okay, now they're the biggest media company in the world now. We used to have like the TV programs, or the networks, or the New York Times and things. No, it's Facebook, bigger than all these people, and probably combined. And they don't create a nickel's worth of content. See, it's all sharing, just like Uber is sharing. They're sharing your time, your thing. Facebook is the biggest media company, and they're not creating any information. They're taking your information and selling it. See, this is what's new in the world now. You ever hear Alibaba? Go on and look at Alibaba. It's like Amazon, but it's in China. And they're the most valuable retailer in the world now. That's right. They're bigger than Walmart and all these kinds of things. And now they don't own an inventory at all. No inventory. Just like Amazon. No inventory. You want to sell? See, you could sell for home on Amazon, on Alibaba, and be in the biggest malls in the world for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Airbnb. You hear that? Okay. They're the biggest hoteler now in the country. They don't own a single room. It's people like me have an apartment downtown Washington, D.C. I rent it out to people on Airbnb takes care of the insurance, they take care of the payments, they take care of the money, they take care of everything, the marketing, they give me customers, they get everything. And it's just terrific. I mean, this is what's growing. And they're so big now. See, this is like from nothing. These companies like Airbnb is bigger than any hotel company now. And they don't know a hotel room. See, but now as individuals, this is a place for us to make money. Anybody without any, knowledge. You don't have to have a degree. Nobody asks you to have a degree. You don't need an expertise. You don't even anything. And just a website. I'm not even a website. You just need an iPhone or a laptop now to do it, and you do work for somebody else like that. And what's neat about it, it is so flexible. Because you work only when you want. And you quit whenever you want. You stop your day whenever you want. Oh, I've been here for an hour and there's not much, but I'm going home. Nobody cares. You don't have to explain that your grandmother died for the 15th time. You just go and leave. And that's how life is becoming now. And it's good or bad. I mean, sure, there's bad parts of it, but the good parts is it's a tool that you could now use to make information, to make money. Just like grants are a tool for you to live life and do what you want. Now it's a tool. People who are artists or want to start a business on one side to make easy extra money and be flexible as hell to make enough to live on while they start their thing, or they do their thing. There's even artist websites or like crowdfunding, man. This is right now today in the paper. It tells how it lists the 20 biggest venture capitalists. Okay, and venture capitalists are those fat cats that invest in ideas because these people are going to be the next Facebook or something like that. Okay, so they invest in new businesses, small businesses, and hope they grow. Okay, so they're investing in like the next Uber. They're all looking for it, and they're only right about 10% of the time, 15% of the time. So they're wrong most of the time. But are those people that invest in businesses to get businesses to start, these venture capitalists, 95% are men. And actually, this story today was the top 20, the biggest 20 of these. There were 90% were men, only 2 women. And if you look at venture capital money, where that goes, so they're the main source of people who want to get money to start their business. 95% go to men. So it's men giving money to other men. But the internet has changed that. It changed it all around. It's no longer that way. And I'll show you at the end of this section, you download a free ebook. I show you 65 women who got money on the internet for their home business or any kind of business. So they could be, most of them did it because they wanted to hang up their high heels and be home. And the data, I show you the research report, that this data came from, 95%, because in crowdfunding, 45% of the people who give money for crowdfunding to start a business are women. It's not just 5% are women, like in venture capital, to get money to start a business. This is 45. So almost half of the people giving money for people to start businesses on the internet are women. So that's why women are outperforming men almost 100%. They're making twice as much money as men are in some of these categories and raising money. They're ahead in every category, but there's 1 or 2 that are almost twice as much. That's what's so exciting to me about what's going on the internet. It's democratizing everything. You want to write a book, you don't have to go to New York with your hat in your hand and talk to some, windbag rich people who thinks they know what people buy. Nobody knows what people buy. They're all guessing. And then you have to sell them. And then you have to write the book, and then the book gets in the bookstores, and maybe somebody will buy it. See, the internet solves that problem because you put it on one of these websites, and people say, I'll buy it before you do it because this is a cool book you're going to do. And see, when you do that, now you have money ahead of time. You have the customers ahead of time. You don't have to build something and hope, and get somebody else's money for it. Have somebody, finance you or go into debt for it or whatever, and then see if it works. No. You put these websites, they're platforms, and people will tell you, hey, that's a cool idea. And I've seen 7-year-olds raise like $30,000, $40,000 doing this because they had a cute idea. Anything like that. So that's what this section is all about. How to do it. And even if you have something full-time now, you want something part-time, this is where to get some extra cash. And I explain, I have lots of videos through all this. It shows you all that data I've been talking about, and how even the government is involved in this because they want to make sure you have are covered, because it was more and more people are doing this even full-time, living on what they call the gig economy, and people are doing this. And so we need protections for the workforce, for that. So they're even coming up with that too, and now here I break down all the places, and see a lot of this stuff too, besides having ideas you want to sell, is places you do work, okay? These are like jobs you do full-time, part-time, one-time, or whatever. And see, it's clearinghouses. It's sort of like, you see these old movies where all these guys go to get the day of work labor, and I guess they have it now, and with the immigrant population sometimes, and this is with the internet on, but it's for professional. I mean, you're a designer, you want to be a customer service person at home, and you just want to work a few hours at a time or whatever. See, with technology and everything, you could do that. So I broke it up into sections, like here websites to get a full-time, part-time, or one-time jobs. And there's a dozen or so websites of people coming to these websites to hiring people. $25 an hour part-time as an assistant downtown. So you're not going to be a millionaire by working this way, but man, it's income to live on. Service professionals, you want to run errands for people, that kind of stuff. Or companies want somebody to go down and photograph a window, a store window in their local, where you live, and that's it. So you could sell your services. Here's one-of-a-kind jobs. You want to be a parking valet, and just on your terms, this kind of thing. You could be a delivery person with motorcycle, bicycle, a hand delivery. You could take care care of pets and make the people making like $30-40 a year, $1,000 a year part-time, or how about having people over for dinner, travelers? You're showing people around the city, just when you want to. You say, hey, I think the neat thing that people should know if they come to the city is this little thing that I go to all the time. And you put this on the website and people want to do something with it. So you have a chance, and it's a great way to meet people and do all these fun things all the time. Guest customer, you're a writer. Okay, there's a special website. They're looking for people to write blogs for other people. See, people are taking care of all the nonsense in the middle. Okay, so now also you have something to rent. People are renting like their backyard for that. Or if you have a place in the country to rent to campers, and it doesn't matter, you don't need licenses, they're getting a little picky in some areas, but basically not. It's nothing you can't handle very easily with a phone call or whatever. You take people out to see a ball game, and you get paid for that. Man, wouldn't that be neat? You like ball games? Well, how about getting paid for taking people out to the ball game? Take me out to the ball game and get paid. There's dozens. I got about 50, 60, 70, 80 of these things. You like to live rent-free? People who want you to stay at their house because they have pets they want to take care of, and they don't want to put them in a kennel. So you could have a vacation, in some romantic island because you're taking care of somebody's pets. You can go travel on your RV, and there's places where people are looking to hire people while they're parked at the campground because they'll pay your camping fee because they want you to work a couple hours for them. See, all this kind of stuff. Driving, you like to drive, man, we're driving everything. Because that's why retailers are going out of business. Now there's even places you could drive for local stores. There's an app you put on, I could deliver, so you work, sort of like the flower shop guys that used to deliver those things. That's it. But it's more flexible now. You don't even have to commit. I'm there every Wednesday. No, you don't. They don't care whenever you are. You're there. You're there. You're not. You'll figure it out. And that's what's neat. So there's dozens of these. You have a bicycle you're not using. Man, people make a lot of it. Well, here I was just reading the paper today. I was going to do an item on this soon. Is that people buy more expensive cars because, like their BMW, because they know they could rent it for a couple days a week. Make extra money to pay for their car payment, because people are doing that. People need a ride to the airport. You give them a ride, stuff like that. Deliver lunch for somebody. I mean, it is. And see, what happened is that it took out the complications. Sure, it sounds easy. People did that before, but it was complicated to organize all that. Who's available, the where, when, how, who needs it, who wants to give it, and now with the internet, it happens. It's sort of like what happened. You don't use travel agents anymore, right? No, you go on a website. That's a platform that took all this information, and the people have the flights or the hotel rooms and put it in one place for everybody. That's what's happening to everything now. That's why we're going to be more efficient, and we get the middleman and the expensive people out. Who needs to go to a hotel if this nice person has an extra room? You could say to it, half the rate of the hotel, and they'll feed you dinner and be nice and show you around town. That's what's cool about all this stuff. So all these places to make money. You have a closet, you have stuff in your closet you don't want. How are you going to take it down to the thrift store? No, they send you a box, and they give you the money. They know ahead of time what it's worth, and they send it. It's amazing what's happening. You don't have to hire an attorney or a tax accountant to do them for free. They'll do it for free. Answer questions. I show you even videos how I call up the IRS, the phone numbers I call to get an answer. How do I write off my kitchen as a business expense? And you see how they take me step by step, and you listen in. So that's available. How about how to cut your student loans, right? Don't get caught with those people who are going to promise you all these things about your student loans. They're just there to make money from you. Maybe they'll help you, but you don't need it because you get it for free, and I show you where it is, okay? And then the one very important section here, how to get people to research for you for free. See, the thing that to me is so important, I think this is the most important chapter in here, is people who are going to do research for you for free, and because they know the answer. If you don't know your stuff, man, really know it well, you're going to get sucked in on Google. Somebody wants to sell you money, and that's what, or like here, I explained the 211 service that we have all over. Everything in that database is free. They give out free money for legal help, childcare, mortgages, rent, anything you can think about, and free help and services. I called up the other day during a snowstorm, even free people to come out and shovel your walk. And these are nonprofit organizations.
that do this. So stuff you'll never find. So that's why you have to know about these things, to really succeed in America nowadays, because the internet is too big, it's too complicated. As Trump found out, didn't realize healthcare was so complicated. Well, all the lives are that way. But some people are figuring it out. And it's not the people making money. Most of our energy goes into trying to figure out how to make money from other people. What I'm trying to show you, that people are just trying to help people and give you money. So stay away from people watching money. Start finding the people who are giving you money, and watch video 2, which would be easy internet income. Cover that in a sec. Okay, well, when you're ready, you watch the video.